Welcome back to Riding Bikes in San Diego. We are back in Grantville over on Fairmount at the north end heading south. And I posted a few weeks ago a video about cutting through Grantville. But today on this ride I have to go a little further west. So to get there, I'm going to make a turn I don't usually take. If we make a right here, we are on San Diego Mission Road. And this is a road that is seemingly freshly paved and has this excellent bike lane. Excellent's a strong word. It has a bike lane with a buffer and flex posts. It still has the signature texture change about 2/3 of the way to the right. So you see how it's blacktop and then there's that little bit of gray. We need that for drainage. Like when there's water on the road, we need the water to be able to get to the edges and then go lower and flow somewhere. But this texture change for somebody on a bike, that's a place where a tire could get caught. It's a place where overgrowth comes in and just it's a crack, so things can happen there. But we'll take it. I'd rather have this than Sharrows or just a painted shoulder on the side. Honestly, there's enough space here that fellow could have had a sidewalk, right? But this is not a bad situation that we're in right now. And I forget about it all the time. I hardly ever ride on this, and it looks like people hardly drive on it as well. It's a pretty quiet stretch. This is where the San Diego Mission is. It's going to be coming up on our right side. And it's a totally chill road. I like riding here. I should ride here more often. I don't because it's not as useful as I need it to be. I'm sure other people rely on this a lot, especially if you live north of the stadium that's up here, Snapdragon. If you come down that large hill and need to get places east, this is going to be an essential road. But riding on it, I wanted to show it to you. I wanted to just be reminded of how peaceful this is. We're getting to a spot in the year where the heat has broken and it's starting to become autumn in San Diego, which means that there's a nice breeze often, a nice little chill in the air. And it's great to be reminded that there are places where we can ride and enjoy the breeze and not feel like we have to struggle with cars. I do have to cut over to the left here though. Luckily this is a quiet road, so I was able to merge over a couple of lanes and get into this turning lane and wait for this light for a moment. And I want to wait for this light. I want that left turn signal, but I'm not sure it's going to come. I'm waiting for other drivers to come around and hit the sensors. I do believe, though I should look it up, so I will for a moment. Yeah, there are rules in the vehicle code, and from what I'm seeing, this is from 2023. It's Division 11, Chapter 2, Article 3, related to devices that are necessary and required to help people on bikes cross through intersections. It seems like they should be there, but cities are not required to retroactively put them there. So this light probably hasn't been serviced in a long time, or it's not new, so it doesn't need that new equipment. But hopefully they'll put that equipment in eventually to make that left turn easier, because there's no way it would have sensed me there. So I would have had to wait for a driver to come up behind me, which is also dangerous and time consuming. So I made that left, quote unquote illegally, but you have to use what we have. So now we're in this bike lane, and I'm not going to complain about this design at all. We have a lot of curb cuts, and we have our bike lane. We have a big buffer, flex posts, and drivers putting their cars there, creating this protection barrier. And this is going to go until we get to the next intersection, which is a right-hand turn, which leads to that river park and Snapdragon and a lot of beautiful facilities that are really useful for recreation. What kills me is that we get through this intersection and then there's nothing. It just dissolves. And look at where we are. The only way to get to that entrance to the park on this east side is the way we came or the way we're facing now, and there's nothing for people to bike in. There's no recreational path, and there's no design to keep it safe. And to make matters worse, we get onto this road, which is just always a nightmare. This is Rancho. This is not Rancho Mission Road. This is Camino Del Rio North. And Camino Del Rio North, for my money, is one of the worst roads in the city of San Diego. And I've been saying this since Scott Sherman was the council member out here. It's just the paint is all faded. There's breaks in the road all over the place, cracks, potholes. It's an absurdly horrible road. It's also a super useful road for people riding bikes. And there's so much room here. I mean, look at how wide this bike lane is. It's huge, but it's also just in lousy shape. And I have the feeling that it's not big to accommodate people riding bikes. It's big to accommodate people driving cars, and if they need to pull over, and if they break down or something like that, or need to get towed. Often when I see really good wide bike lanes that are just paint, I'm like, that's not for me. That's actually for a driver who might need to get their car serviced. The bike lane goes away though when we get up here a little bit, and this road just gets worse and worse, and I'm not going to belabor it with you. I'll show you other sections of it on another video, probably tomorrow. Thanks for coming along with me. From here we are going to brave this horrible pavement, drive less, and ride a bike. See ya.